But when I look back, I guess maybe I am being duplicit because I guess I do have regrets. The regret is during that time, and I've said it to you when we've texted or when we've had conversations,
Right.
you got to enjoy the journey.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're young or when you're chasing a goal, regardless of your age, sometimes we just get so wrapped up in that we miss those moments.
Mm-hmm.
I was a shitty wife for the longest time because I wasn't present until it smacked me in the face that, hey, you know what? You got to be present in this. I was a shitty boss because I was just so focused on myself and my goals that I did not care who I trampled over. And that's something that I've, made amends with personally. And I missed out on stuff. You've been at our house. I built that friggin' thing from scratch. Do you think I cared? No, I was thinking about, I can't wait till I get my toy for that third garage. Got to keep hustling. And those are the things now that I'm looking back on those things with gratitude. The shit is what made me. Like, writing about the stuff that went down today, like that made me. So when are you gonna enjoy the moments?
I've been. I
Yeah.
have been. I've definitely been seeing the picture for what it is. I'm not sure if you know, but my grandmother's very sick.
No.
She actually, ironically, she has sarcoma as well. She's on end of life services right now. She was diagnosed a while ago. I would say about a year and a half ago. She actually had a surgery right before my wedding, which was in 2022. Um, they they thought they got everything's cool. She was fine for a couple months. Right after that, we decided to sell the house, build my new house. She was moving her stuff one day to the new house, and she thought she pulled something. She didn't think anything of it. She thought, it's common. She was 66 or 67 years old at the time, so moving stuff that you shouldn't be, you probably hurt yourself, right? Mm-hmm. She followed up with her doctor a couple months later, and they're like, no. It came back. She had 3 tumors. One was the size of a volleyball. One was the size of a softball. The other was the size of a golf ball. So they went in. They removed it again. Radiation, chemo, all that. She went this past year. She went through all the chemo and radiation. It was like very, very hard to watch. I kind of wasn't confident that it was going to help. Whatever. It didn't work. So right a couple of days before Christmas, actually no, it was like probably a week or two before Christmas, they said, hey, it didn't work. There's nothing we can do. Prepare for end of life. But she did. They asked how long, and they told her, would be lucky to make it to Christmas or whatever. My grandmother's more than happy because she's like just the strongest fucking person I know, And she's like, I just want to make it to Christmas, which she did, She's still here. So that's what we've been dealing with. And I think that was like a huge eye opener for me as far as enjoying the little things and the little moments. Just as simple as, I've been cooking every Sunday.
Good.
Yeah. So cooking is kind of like my love language, which I've learned over the last couple of months. Growing up with my grandmother, uh, she was always cooking something, She always wanted to feed everybody. She would cook enough for an army, even though we barely had 2 nickels to rub together, you know what I mean? She would cook for everybody. And just watching how much love she put into it I think that's why I've just randomly started. I've just been like cooking things. I can't even explain to you how I know how to or do it. It's like the strangest thing in the world, but I've been enjoying it. And like you said, like just kind of paying attention, seeing how much something simple as like cooking a meatball and watching somebody eat it and just see them feel like warm and cozy and just that feeling of just love. Even if it's like my friends come over and eat, my aunts have been over. Shelby, Amelia loves the meatballs and she doesn't eat anything besides chicken nuggets. And she's just, Daddy, I love watching you cook, which is just like so heartwarming, you know what I mean? So, I mean, that's kind of where I've been at mentally lately is just try to like really focus on the time that she has left and appreciate that for what it is. And just I've been kind of applying that to my everyday life. So to kind of get back to what you were talking about, I can 100% appreciate everything that you just said as far as like, taking a step back and realizing that everything you've done in a short period of time, where has the time gone? To be able to put that in a book is huge. I could never do that. I wouldn't be able to. The emotion and, and trial and things that have happened in life, I wouldn't be able to put down on a piece of paper. You know what I mean? So kudos to you for that. That's huge. And I know it's hard because we've had conversations before, and I know how hard that is. And it's hard to. I feel like we're one and the same when we have that mentality. Is like I think you used the term before, like type type A,
Type A.
type A, right?
Yeah.
So like for instance, my grandmother's dying right now. She's at my house in hospice, and I'm here doing a podcast talking about building somebody else's dreams up. Right? That's how I get through things. I just don't think about it. I try to just stay positive and look forward and keep pushing. And I think you've done that for so long that when you actually have to sit down and say, "Oh shit, let me actually put some time and thought into everything I've been through," and then put that down and write that, it's very hard and heavy, as you said, right?
Yeah, well, it's in one ways it's a little bit of a mind fuck, in part because I said to you before we started the podcast, like, I'm in sales. Mortgages are sales, and
You're selling yourself.
yeah, and if someone says no, all right, I shake it off, and I keep going.
Move on.
But now this is me like putting out my life, my story, and it could be a colossal failure. But what keeps driving me is there might be just some shit show like what I was back then that just needs to hear it and needs to hear like, hey, you can make it through this. It is allowing me to have that gratitude to kind of be like, holy shit, I broke ground on a big ass house at 29 years old and I'm still there. There were a number of people that I know that built in 2004 when the market was hot and it was crazy. And some of those people don't have their houses anymore because the mortgage crisis and all that crap. And so I'm grateful for that, but I'm also grateful now for the little moments. Like I don't need that stuff for validation. Like that's what I was chasing. I was chasing validation because being that poor fat kid that got bullied, and that's only a teeny smattering of the story. It's funny, like my wife will be like, yeah, look where that got you.
Did you have a dad growing up?
I did, a biological one who I stopped talking to in my senior, I think I was a junior or senior in high school. He's my first memory. The book opens with him beating the shit out of my mother.
Wow.
At 2. That's my first memory was abuse and trauma.
So you weren't close, needless to say.
I wasn't, and he passed away right around New Year's this year. So my brother texted me and he said "pai," which is the way you say dad in Portuguese.